Racist jokes? How do you know Adam and Eve were not black? Have you ever tried to take a rib from a black man? Military jokes. Which month do soldiers hate most? March. Jokes about life. Life may not be worth living, but what else can you do with it? Dirty jokes. I never drink water, a Eurofish FK in it. Disgusting jokes. What is the difference between a blonde and a toilet? After you use a toilet, it doesn't follow you around for 3 days. Military jokes. A very respected captain in the Foreign Legion was transferred to a remote desert outpost. On his orientation tour he noticed a very old seedy-looking camel tied out behind the enlisted men, a Euro trademark S barracks. He asked the sergeant leading the tour, a Euro why is a camel tied to the barracks a Euro? The sergeant replied, a Euro, well sir, eat a Euro trademark S a long way from anywhere, and the men have natural sexual urges, so when they do a Euro we have the camel ready for them a Euro. The captain said, a Euro, well, I suppose if eat a Euro trademark S good for morale, then I guess eat a Euro trademark S all right with me a Euro. After he had been stationed at the fort for 6 long, lonely months, the captain simply couldn't a Euro trademark T control his sexual angst any longer. He barked to his sergeant, a Euro, bring the camel into my tent a Euro. The sergeant shrugged his shoulders, looked at the other men, and lead the camel into the captain a Euro trademark S quarters. Within a few minutes, the captain emerged from his tent, fastening his trousers, almost beaming with pride. A Euro, so, sergeant, is that how the enlisted men do it a Euro? He asked. The sergeant replied, a Euro, well, sir, usually they just use it to ride into town a Euro. Dark people jokes. Q. What is the most confusing day in Harlem? A. Father's Day. Dirty jokes. 2 men were shipwrecked on an island. They decided to venture inland to see if they could find someone. The men came across a village in the middle of a jungle. Immediately they were surrounded by a tribe of Icelanders. The chief walks to the men and says, what do you choose, death or boogaloo? The first man thinks for a second and replies, I choose boogaloo. The chief smiles and the tribe begins to chant boogaloo, boogaloo, boogaloo. The chief takes the man, bends him over and FKS him up. The second man is horrified at what he has just witnessed, and then the chief walks up to him and asks, you must choose death or boogaloo. The man thinks he would rather die than have boogaloo, so he replies, I choose death. The tribe roars in ecstasy and the chief yells, death by boogaloo. Racist jokes. Q. What do you call a guy with his hand up a camel's arse? A. An Arab mechanic. Cop jokes. A woman saw an ad in the local newspaper which read, purebred police dog $25. Thinking that to be a great bargain, she called and ordered the dog to be delivered. The next day a van arrived at her home and delivered the mangiest looking mongrel she had ever seen. In a rage, she telephoned the man who had placed the ad, how dare you call that mangy mutt a purebred police dog? Don't let his looks deceive you, ma'am, the man replied, he's in the Secret Service.